They've done it again. The Toronto Blue Jays simply cannot lose right now, and it's a boatload of fun as a Blue Jay fan. I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm not going to talk about the win against the White Sox, who are 30-61. I'm going to talk about the depth, stepping up yet again and being the reason why the Blue Jays continue this win streak. It's not the Vladdy show. It's not the Bo show. It's not the stars coming out and being stars. It is the fringe guys. It is the secondary guys that are all having big-time moments throughout this win streak, and it's a lot of fun. But is it sustainable? We'll break that down and much more on this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. Welcome in, everybody, to 3 Up, 3 Down. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis. Make sure to hit that subscribe button before we get into the video. We're extremely close to 3,000, and your support has been unbelievable on these recent videos. I'm having so much fun talking about my Blue Jays because they haven't been this good maybe ever in my lifetime. This team is special. The way that they are playing is different, and I just can't wait to watch the rest of the season unfold. So if you want wall-to-wall Blue Jays coverage, make sure to tap that subscribe button because we are close to 3K, and the coverage will not stop throughout the entire rest of the season and hopefully a long playoff run for Toronto. But let's get into the nuts and bolts of yesterday's game. An 8-4 victory over the Chicago White Sox, who are not a good baseball team. Let's call it what it is. They're not a good team, and they shouldn't really pose much of a threat to the Blue Jays, especially with the way that the Jays have been playing as of late. So I'm not going to put too much stock into that victory. I don't think it's all that important in the grand scheme of things, beating a team like the White Sox, but keeping the momentum going is what is important. And we're waiting for a Vladdy breakout, which I believe is going to come after the All-Star break. I mean, there's not enough runway left for him now to get hot. It's possible, and I could see it happening, but at the same time, I mean, we're waiting for a Vladdy and Bo breakout, and it just hasn't come yet, but it will. I have full faith that it will come into play at some point from now until the end of the season. But what has really been catching my attention has been the fringe guys. And let me focus on one in particular. Now, Addison Barger, of course, I mean, has been great, turned himself into one of the best power hitters in the game of baseball right now. He hit another home run yesterday. Nathan Lucas, who has been leading off pretty much every game since coming back against righties, he's been a really nice story as well. He chipped in with a home run yesterday. But Joey Loperfido, who on Sunday came up with a massive hit against the Los Angeles Angels to give the Blue Jays a 2-1 lead, where in a game where they ultimately won 3-2. And then yesterday, he also hit the first home run of the ball game for the Jays. He tied up the game at 1 when Sean Burke was just carving and giving the Blue Jays a really tough time. I mean, the White Sox defense was playing great behind him as well, so it was a team effort, absolutely. But it was looking like one of those games that maybe the Jays could end up losing. They had won 8 in a row, playing against a garbage team, in all fairness, and it just feels like a scheduled loss. You're traveling from Toronto to Chicago, not going to be easy. You know, all the external factors were against the Blue Jays yesterday. But it didn't seem to matter. Joey Loperfido comes up, ties the game at 1, kind of gets the floodgates open. Then Nathan Lucas hits another one right after, goes back-to-back. And Loperfido, let's talk about him for a second. He had 3 RBIs yesterday. Now, I don't know what his playing time is going to look like when a lefty is on the mound, per se, or when Dalton Varsho gets back into the lineup. I don't know. But as for now, this is a great problem to have for the Blue Jays. The overwhelming depth that they have in their lineup, in their bullpen, in their starting rotation. I mean, it's just been great. Everyone is chipping in. And like I mentioned off the top, it is not the Vladdy show. It is not the Bo show. It was the George Springer show last week. But, things have started to go back to normal. He's not going to hit 600 from now until the end of the season. But Davis Schneider had a 2-home run game. He came up with the biggest hit in the ball game against the Los Angeles Angels. He wasn't in the lineup yesterday. Didn't matter. Joey Loperfido took his spot. What does he do? He chips in with a couple of hits. Home run, which flew off his bat into the right field bleachers, and a 2 RBI single to basically ice the game, right? So it's been guys like that have been stepping up that maybe you didn't expect to have as big of an impact coming into the season, and it's been glorious to watch. Now, my question right off the top of the show was, is this going to be sustainable? Are the Blue Jays able to keep winning in the fashion that they're winning? Because it's guys that are not proven that are doing the job. It's guys that, have had hot stretches at times, but are not solidified big leaguers. So these are questions that are going to have to be answered by the Blue Jays within the next couple of months, right? Like, can they keep this going? Can they rely on a Joey Loperfido game? Can they rely on a Davis Schneider game, on an Addison Barger game? I think Barger has really cemented himself as a crucial element to this team. But as for the other guys, the book is still open. We have yet to see it materialize over a full 162, and it might never happen. But right now, the Blue Jays are riding this hot streak, and they are doing it with the help of all of their young stars. Which shouldn't say stars, but they're young pieces. They're young prospects that are graduating to the big leagues, and it's a lot of fun to watch. It's arguably the deepest Blue Jay team that I have ever seen in my lifetime. I mean, that 2015 team was special. Don't get me wrong, with Jose Bautista, Josh Donaldson, Troy Tulowitzki, Edwin Encarnacion. The list goes on and on of how great that team was. But the bottom of the order left a little bit to be desired. I don't feel that same way with this Toronto Blue Jays squad in 2025. The bottom of the order has just been solid all throughout this hot streak for the last couple of months. They have been chipping in and doing it in style, playing great defense, coming up with big hits, good base running. This is an all-around effort right now, and you can't point to one specific individual or one specific thing that has been going right for the Toronto Blue Jays. Everything is falling their way right now, and it's going to balance itself out. They're going to lose again. At least I think they're going to lose again. I don't expect them to win the remaining 60-some-odd games from now until the rest of the season. It's just not sustainable, and that's never happened. So it's not going to happen. Let's put that to bed right now. But what is happening is just a consistent improvement of all of the fringe guys, and that is something that the Blue Jays have relied on all season long. Now, it's going to be a question when Dalton Varsho comes back, if Anthony Santander gets back into the lineup, who I actually thought was hitting well before he went down with that injury that has kept him out for a while. Andres Jimenez as well should be back soon-ish. So maybe after the All-Star break, this isn't even a conversation that we're having. They're going to have a starting 9 that is pretty much set in stone, and that's okay. But as for now, they've needed contributions from everybody up and down that lineup, and they're getting it. And the latest addition to that, Joey Loperfido, who just got called up from the Buffalo Bisons a couple of days ago and is already contributing to wins for the Blue Jays. Been a lot of fun to watch. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think the Jays are going to keep the win streak going tonight against the White Sox? First pitch shortly after 7:30 Eastern Time. Let me know in the comment section down below, and I will see you all again tomorrow. This is so much fun. Keep it locked on 3 Up, 3 Down. Hit that subscribe button. See you tomorrow.